Here, Netflix played on both side, shared thesis in the video yesterday. I mentioned why I was interested in the downside. Played NVIDIA calls also. So let's go over what made me go through these trades. Let's go to Netflix first, and I think the thesis I shared was yesterday. This. So my plan was that this is a trend line, and the NVIDIA yesterday was able to reclaim RSI is kind of going downwards. Could go upward. Excuse me. Could go upwards. You're not sure at that point. So I did drew this trend line, and I was like, okay, you know what? This is gonna be a pivot as of yesterday's level. You could say, okay, I'm gonna take this one. That's still okay. It will have 1 point, 2 point. I had this as a yesterday's low point from the wick. Let's go on the hourly RSI on the morning. As you can see, small gap down, open downwards. So RSI on the hourly is in a bearish zone. So I was like, okay, you know what, worst case scenario, I'm wrong, but I can take a chance and see what this is gonna do on a put side. So coming on a 5-minute chart, as you can see, pre-market RSI did dip, so 5-minute is down, your daily is downwards, RSI on the hourly is downward, 5-minute is also going downwards. Would I take this as any indication? Yes, probably, but I had my level. What I was looking for is this. So my plan was that if this level is rejected, more importantly, it would be this level. So keep in mind 176.1 and the 175.4. So let's go on a 5-minute and see what this is doing. All right, there we go. So opened up, and you know that on the opening side it has a pretty small candle, and when I have a bearish thesis, I know in one of the video I shared, I go on a 3-minute chart and look for an entry right there. So I have a feeling my fill was somewhere on this. It was not like at the open I had to go for a second attempt. I was almost tempted to go for a market order, but I think the spreads were not in my favor. I was like, okay, you know what, worst case scenario, I'll just watch and play a rebound if it gives me. So this is somewhere I had my entry, and Netflix I played 170. The 1.4, and I took it down to 2.5. So that was about 78% on the maximum side, and obviously, you know, I will not hold everything for a 78%. So this was my level. So this is where I got out the most. So let's go to the 5-minute chart and see how much move you have. So let's see your entry is somewhere around here, 178.5, and then you're coming all the way till 175.5. So that's like a 3-point move you're getting on Thursday. So that's important. When that happens, and you know that yes, you are pretty close to this. Okay, this is a level actually I drew based on today's action. So my plan was to go with so on the daily level, that how far I wanted to go and hold. Let's take a look. Okay. So this is a level. So this is essentially 171. Let's go on a 5-minute chart. So 171, which is right here. So you know that you're clearly overshooted your target. So you're looking for pretty much a confirmation on your exit signal. So your exit signal came pretty much on this candle. And I was out, I want to say somewhere around, I would say on this one or on this one. Somewhere I ended up getting out. So in these sort of scenario, when you are getting out, you know, I often get into this is that it will consolidate here and make it another move down, and that's when I kind of like, okay, you know what, I left the money on the table. But that's okay. You know, if you look at 3-point on a Thursday, it's a good move. You know, as we always say that, you know, we're not here for a full move. We can capture a part of a move, and your options are moving pretty good, you know, take it. I mean, 50% move on the options in this market, you know, it's a blessing. So if it gives you like a 70% move, you know, take it. So I think this is where I would be like, okay, you know what, this was my target, I'm already over my target, let's just go and get rid of the contract. And in this case I was proven right. And then I was like, okay, you know what, do I have a reason to go long in this particular one? So I was looking at SPY. So this is 855, and you can see SPY is moving. QQQ is at the support and then give a bounce. So I was like, okay, you know what? I think it's okay. Market could go down, but it's definitely gonna be okay and not get greedy. So you have to take all of this into account when you are trading. So my long bias was, I think 177 call. Let me just double check. Netflix, just checking my entry here. So it was a 1.2. So I think that was somewhere around here on this one. That's when I ended up entering. So I exited. You have a confirmation right there. Your RSI is still going downward, so it's like, okay, you know, that's fine. VWAP is going to be my entry signal, and I was kind of little early, no doubt, but the VWAP will be your entry. So usually you don't get this sort of candle right away. So I was a bit lucky in this case. So your level is right there. You know you're about to be reclaimed. This candle gave you a pretty good move on an upward side. So that was like, okay, you know what? Worst case scenario, if I am wrong, I'm just gonna keep a tight stop loss. I don't want to give my profit back and then get in. And then, you know, after that, it was like a, you know, pretty intense move. So here, you know, your VWAP is recaptured, VWAP retest came right here, and then, you know, pretty much the rest is history. I mean, this is an intense move. So that's 171 to almost 177. Your sell will be right here, the area where it opened up. So this is essentially going to be your sell. So it can consolidate and still go higher, and it made a kind of a little flag on a 5. My sell on my majority of a sell was at 2.6, and the last contracts I sold, that was 177.5 call at 3.2. So that you're talking about 160% return on my last contract. So this is a move. I wasn't expecting this will be a move. I expected prices to rather consolidate and get rejected, but you know what? Obviously, we are not going to be predicting. And my other thesis was still intact, was like keep riding the 9 EMA and keep going. And I ended up not selling here because this is a large move I was able to capture. And whenever you capture a large move, I go and switch to 10-minute chart. So you are on a 10-minute chart, price is never closed below 9. So you continue to go, and this was a level 1 hour. Let's go on this one. So on the hourly, as you can see, 177 point. So this was your essentially a target. So 1.2, 3, 4, pretty much 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. So this is clearly a zone you'd want to be out at this point. If you are getting a little bit of overshoot, take it as a blessing and then go with that. So this is how I traded Netflix. If you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comment sections. I'll be happy to go over those questions on YouTube itself. Lately, I've been paying a little more attention to the YouTube. Obviously, that's the only ask I have is if you like the videos, click the like button, subscribe it to the channel, and I promise, one thing I'm going to promise on my end is this will be purely an education, and that's the only ask I have. Yes, I do want to grow the channel and everything. Obviously, I don't want to hide any of that, which is pretty obvious. But the purpose is obviously I'm not doing it for the money. As you can see, I make enough money on the trading itself. The purpose is to reach out to more and more people, and I have my DM open, so feel free to should reach out to me. I'll be able to help out in whatever possible way. The third trade I took, so the Netflix I played on both sides. The third play, and as I was in a Netflix, I looked at the NVIDIA, and let me walk you through why NVIDIA came to my radar. So as you see, there we go. So RSI is holding, and I think I mentioned something like this in my video also yesterday, I believe. The RSI going down, and here it is plateauing for the entire day. And at the end of a day, it started to go up. Pre-market came down, but it gave you a divergence right there. So you have a lower point here, slightly higher point here, and then this is another divergence that the price is made lower, but this obviously includes your 8 a.m. Price action. So the RSI gave you a divergence right there. The prices are overall going down. I think somebody did ask me about the divergence also. So let me go over that in a bit. So if you are comparing a lower divergence, you have to be on the lower end of the price section, and if RSI also on the lower end. So you're talking about this as a divergence, and right, you want to do kind of a synchronization of a point to point. So as you can see, RSI is not going down, it's on a neutral if at all, and I would keep it on a bullish side because it's slightly upward. And so that is your bullish divergence on the hourly. So you still don't know whether it will happen or not, so that's why you want to wait on the 5-minute chart. So my 5-minute chart, let's get rid of this now. The VWAP reclaim, so downtrend, yes, on a 5-minute also you're getting a divergence. It is going upward, prices are going downward, consolidate. So whenever this happen, always keep in mind this is something a micro level. So this is essentially a pole and a flag. So when you have a pole and a flag, it's a bear flag. Now anytime bear flag, it should be breaking here, but if it's breaking on the upper side, that's your long entry. That is one of a high conviction entry trade I take. Bear flag breakout on the upside. If you have a bullish flag break down on the lower side, that would be your put entry. So usually what the conventional wisdom says, bull flag will be breaking upward. The bear flag obviously will be breaking because it's a flag which is a consolidation. Prices are resting before they continue their journey. So if market is giving you a surprise, it is ready to surprise you, and that's your essentially a long. So you can go long. So this is what actually drew my attention, and my entry on the NVIDIA was, I would say 10 o'clock is right there on this one. So yes, obviously I would expect a retest, but if it is not, I want VWAP and my stop loss will be here. And I was going pretty low on NVIDIA. I think I only had, if I recall, one contract. I made my money on the Netflix. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm totally okay. I'm already in a long call on the Netflix. I would not be greedy and kind of get rid of everything. So only one contract I took on the NVIDIA. So it was a small one. It's still 100% trade. So it was like, pretty much $100 or so I ended up making. But, as I say, money is not important. What is important is the process. So NVIDIA is giving you, so you can have an entry right here. I prefer to have an entry on a red candles because you get a better fills. If you do it on a green, the prices will be inflating, and you can backtest this one also. So red, if you are able to get it, perfect. If I have to take it on the green, I will be going small. So I think it was one contract or so I entered, and then obviously continue to ride the 9. So I have these levels, and let's go over why these levels were on my chart. So yesterday close, that's the lowest peak. Yesterday pre-market, it started to give you a struggle. I don't count on these, but if I'm able to capture 1 or 2 points, what should I say, the levels here, I will be taking it. Then the consolidation of this, I know it is on the body, but I was mainly focusing on these areas. So this is what so 1 and 2 and 3. So I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to go for this one. And this was essentially your pre-market rejection also. So that's why I have 154 as a level. And when you're riding on a 5-minute, so you know that, okay, 154.07, your target is already achieved. And I sold, I think, at 10:30. Yep, I think this was a red candle. So, yep, as you can see, even our Netflix prices did go upward. And NVIDIA prices did go upward. But I was like, okay, you know what, that's fine. I made my money. I'm out. I'm happy. So this is how I traded today's action. Let's see if we can identify some charts or some setups for tomorrow. So as you can see, there was a huge volume on this one. So let's see if the prices consolidate, and NVIDIA likes Friday, by the way. So Friday move on NVIDIA is definitely worth considering. So for me, 154 will be an important level still to go with. I have 1, 2, 3, pretty much, 153.65, which is essentially an open. So I'm going to take it as this is my level to go with. So on hourly, 154, yeah, this is the level to go if you want. And this is actually at this point, it's a 20 EMA also on the hourly. So if you want to be conservative and you was like, okay, you know what, that's fine, 155 is going to be the move you want to capture, then you go with the highest point, which is 155. So you can move this candle actually here, and that would still be a valid trade. At least you would have some confirmation or maybe even a retest of this EMA on the hourly. So when that happens, yes, that is a valid trade to go long. If you want to be shorting this, yes, this is a zone I will be interested in. So 150 you can take as a cycle level. 150, if this is breached pre-market going upwards, take it. If it is rejected here, that's your short again. So here or here, and take a look at RSI and build your conviction. Friday, everything what you do is a lot of position. I'm not trading on Friday. I'm gonna be traveling, so yeah, keep that in mind. Another way to look at would be this. So you could do something like this, and so that's a nice squeeze on a hourly on the price action. So you know that it's going to be, if they are coiling, yes, they will be expanding. We don't know the direction. I'm leaning bullish, but we'll see how it goes. Because Friday is an NVIDIA day, so that's usually a good one to be on your radar. On this one too, RSI is going down, and now RSI is actually starting to get into, and it's kind of hugging this from a bearish to the neutral zone. So let's see how SQ is doing in a pre-market. I'm still not overall on the long run. I'm not, if you expand the time frame over days, I'm still not bullish. I think we continue to maintain a bearish thesis. So keep that in mind. So don't be super aggressive and take profit, as and when it comes. So yes, trade safe. Let's see if Tesla is doing something. Doji, good volume, hammer. So yeah, let's see what Tesla is going to be doing. Doesn't matter, what the pre or post is doing at this point. Let's say if we can, okay, so this is a level, and you could have played actually Tesla also today. So let's see, that's your 5-minute chart. You expect this is a level for you. You could take this as a level, and any rejection of this level is, you could go. And on a Friday, if you're able to capture, let's say if you enter short here, you have 669 and you're bringing it down to 659. So 10-point move is a pretty intense move on Thursdays and Friday. So you could go and take that as a scalp. And here, this is what I mean by multiple divergences. 1, 2. So your prices are going lower, your RSI is going higher. Come here, prices are again going lower, your RSI is higher. So all this is a bullish divergences. So you just need a confirmation. So your entry could be here, recapture of a 9, or if you want to do it, you could do as a recapture of a VWAP. And from 669, you can go and take it as a 683. So that's still about a 10-point move on the upward too. And your stop will be the opening range. So this is essentially how you could have traded Tesla too. Another thing what I do usually like to do as a lotto on a Friday is this, on Friday. So even though we are on Thursday, but I'm going to show you this. So this is the uptrend of a price. So when they are having an uptrend, prices will be breached. Never enter on these candles. What you want to do is a rejection of the very same levels or the trend line. So if a trend line rejection come here, you're getting a trend line rejection, but you also are making a higher, lower low, a lower high. So you made a higher point here, you made a higher point here. So that tells you that this is a wall. So this wall, prices are not able to, and they always want to go back and see if they find a new buyer. So that's just a psychology you want to play with. So there are no new buyers. Whenever you don't have to have a selling pressure, the lack of buyer alone will bring the prices down. So prices are down, they recaptured, but look at the volumes, they're still pretty average. This is my 20-day average volume line. The purple line, what you see is a 20-day average. So when that happens, the prices usually make another attempt. They could make a lower high or come back and get rejected at the same and see if they have a buyer. So second or third attempt definitely is a short. If you have and the same thing will be true on the long side. So if you have something like this, that is a money making move on Thursdays and Friday. So something like this I wait for. So this is a green candle. You still don't know what prices will be doing. This is your confirmation. You get a confirmation. This is certainly a confirmation. So you could enter on this as a red candle or wait for a green candle and enter here, and you can see 682 to 670. So you have another 10-point move. And as you're moving from this time zone to this time zone, your prices will be of the contracts will moving faster because you're getting closer to the end of a day. So that's how you could trade. And certainly, if you want to do the VWAP, because the bounce is a real possibility, this can be your sell. So from 683 to, so it's like a 8-9 point, and you're in a trade for about, let's say, almost 25 minutes or 30 minutes or so. So that's usually a valid setup. So let's see which stocks showed some strength. BNTX I usually don't like. VIX is up, obviously. Palo Alto, I think, I don't like that one. I trade. I've traded this stock with equity, but not much with the option. Let's see what Amazon is doing. So same thing, same principle. Make a trend line from a lower point, find a touch point, and see what prices are doing. Continue to maintain uptrend till it found a rejection here. So this is your first rejection. And if the prices are going higher, you wait for a confirmation and see what RSI is doing. So RSI is making a, so your prices are higher, but RSI is making a neutral divergence, right? It's a divergence right there because you expect RSI to be slightly higher. And it's okay, even if you don't have, everything as a clean cut or a textbook, that's fine. Wait for a confirmation. So confirmation will be, okay, here you have no idea. Here you're kind of getting rejected from this pre-market zone. And your confirmation comes somewhere around here. So this is when you get a confirmation. If you miss, that's totally okay. You would get a green candle and market will make another attempt. So this is why I typically like to make these 10 and stick it by 9 and a 20 EMAs. You could do, I know the Time Trades does 4 and I believe 12 EMA or 11 EMA. But the concept is the same. I think he also does the same thing, which is like keep a short moving average and a slightly intermediate time moving average. The idea is, yes, you want to, ride the move. It's all a game of a sensitivity and specificity. So if you keep the 9 versus you keep the 8 EMA, your 8 EMA will be more sensitive. So you may have, a quicker confirmation. 9 EMAs, you'll have a slightly confirmation over, let's say 2-3 minutes later on. But that's totally okay. That setup has been working pretty well for him, and I know he's been doing wonders. This has been working for me, so I like to, but I wanted to give you perspective, like the why such a different good traders are using these levels. Some people will go for a cross. I'm not a big fan of these crossovers and all. For me, the levels are very important. If you don't have a levels drawn, you don't have to trade. This was a level for me, so any overshoot is truly an overshoot. This is an overshoot, so you'd expect the prices to come and be respecting this. And look at the move. I mean, that's a pretty impressive move on NVIDIA. I did not even look at NVIDIA when it come on a short side because I knew that Netflix will be the one to go with. But when I started to see the other markets, especially the QQQ and SPX, I think things were pretty clear. So keep in mind on Fridays and late Thursdays, this particular strategy. Happy trading. And again, like the videos. That's the definitely must ask from you guys. I know some of you have been pretty vocal, asking me a lot of questions on my DM. So in any manner, if I'm able to help, any fellow trader, that would be an honor. So keep going. All right, cheers. See you guys next week, and I'll probably put some charts out there and see. But trade safe. Fridays are, lately I'm not been trading Fridays as much as I used to. But it's a high risk, high reward game. And I think I'm just going to focus more on a mind mastery and meditation and that sort of things on Fridays and so forth. And it's a travel day for me. So, all right, cheers.